How is everyone doing today on this lovely Wednesday? I'm excited that there's sunshine out and somewhat blue skies. But we are going to continue in our series of the core values of Summit Church. However, this will be our last video in this series. And so since I missed last week due to my schedule and then being away for the weekend and just preparing for all that good stuff. So we're going to do 2 in 1 today. And so let's go ahead and let's jump into it. The first one I want to talk about today is that honor is a must. Again, honor is a must. And I believe with all my heart that honor is such an important thing that God shows us through His Word. I mean, if you really think about it, you look all the way back at the Ten Commandments. When He gave Moses the Ten Commandments for the Israelites, one of the Ten Commandments is honor thy father and mother. And so, and a cool part about that is if you read on that actual commandment, it says, and you will be blessed with long life, or a form of that. And so we look at it, we see that there is honor, and then there is a promise attached to the honor, which is a long life. And so how much more important is it, if it made it in the Ten Commandments first and foremost, but that we are to honor the God that we serve. And so I think that is something that we have to ingrain in the culture that we live in, because we do not live in a society that looks very highly on honor. And when I talk about honor, I'm not talking about just an honor for God, just an honor for the pastor. I'm talking for an honor for everyone. And so there's a church in Tulsa, Oklahoma called Transformation Church. I encourage you to look them up, YouTube them, look up Pastor Mike Todd. He's got some really good content. But what I'm saying is that they have a saying in their church is that they honor up, they honor down, and they honor all the way around. And I just think that's a really cool thing for us to remember as leaders, is that we honor up, we honor down, and we honor all the way around. So it's not just honoring those above us, but it's also honoring those around us and those that we serve over. And so we have to have honor. Honor is such an important thing. In Romans chapter 12, Paul talks about this. He says this, chapter 12, verse 9, it says, don't just to pretend to love others, really love them. Hate what is wrong, hold tightly to what is good. Verse 10, love each other with genuine affection and take delight in honoring each other. So again, if you read on in chapter 13 in Romans there, Paul begins to talk about the authority that God has placed in our lives. And so there's this idea and this concept that he wants us to get, is that we need to honor regardless. Honor isn't for the person in the position. Honor is for us to give. And so when we honor, we position ourselves in a place for God to truly work through us. And so as a staff, as impact team leaders, as leaders in general, as Christians, we need to not only honor those in authority over us, but we also need to honor those around us and create that culture, because again, that's counterculture. We like to talk about, we like to badmouth, we like to not like those maybe who are in positions above us or even people around us. And so therefore we don't look with them with genuine affection or love. Therefore we're not honoring them. And so we as leaders need to be the example that the Church of Summit follows after, so we need to honor because God has required us to honor. But as we honor, we are setting an example and creating a culture of honor around us. And so that is that one. Honor is a must. And the last one of the series is serving is our privilege. That's right. Serving is our privilege. What an honor it is that God has placed each and every one of us, whether it's pastoral staff, whether it's an impact team leader, in some form of leadership. What a privilege that is that the God, the one who created heaven and earth, everything that we see and everything that's in it, that He sees fit to have put us in a position to serve Him. That we serve because it is our privilege. We don't serve to get anything. We don't serve to say, hey, look at me. We serve and understand that it is a privilege that God has given us to serve the creator of heaven and earth. And with that being said, when we serve, we are living out what Jesus gave us an example of in John. John chapter 13 is where Jesus washes the feet of his disciples. And what a cool story. I mean, I won't get into the details, but what a cool story it is to see that Jesus, the Messiah, Emmanuel, God with us, lowers himself to a position of a servant and begins to wash the feet of those who are disciples, wash the feet who serve alongside of him. What an example that he sets. Because after he washes his feet, he says, feet of his disciples, he then says, go and do as I have done. And so he was creating or setting an example for us as pastoral staff, as leadership, whether you're an impact team leader or some other form of leadership. Maybe it's where you work. You have some form of leadership there. What an example for us than the example of Jesus to serve those around us. And so we don't lord the position. We don't, again, serve out of a heart to be seen or to, oh, look how compassionate they are. They serve. Oh my goodness, what a great example. That's not why we serve. Honestly, it is a privilege to do what we're doing. God, we didn't do anything to deserve this. You didn't do anything to deserve your position. God saw fit and saw the heart of each and every one of us and said, I see their heart, and so therefore I entrust them with a position of service. And so it is our privilege to serve. And so here at Summit Church, we want people to understand when we are in leadership, or if we're a part of pastoral staff, or if we're just serving in whatever position, it is not something that we are doing so we are noticed. It is something we are doing because we understand that as we serve, it is a privilege to serve alongside the creator of heaven and earth. And so those are the core values of Summit Church. And so I'm excited about what God is doing. There's some really cool things that he is doing in our midst. And I want to, before I leave and before I quit this video, I want you guys to understand how much we truly appreciate what you do. I know there are probably things that you do that we don't even see. And so first and foremost, I want to make mention of that as like, even though we don't see specific things, we see the heart in which you serve. And so we are very thankful that you have decided to come alongside us and serve the people of Summit Church, and not only the people of Summit Church, but to serve those outside of the four walls of the church. Your guys' heart and passion to see changed lives that change the world is awesome and inspiring. And I don't just say that. I truly mean that. I'm thankful that God has brought forth a team who is on the same path with one mission in mind, to really link together and unite in a way that impacts the world that we live in. And so, again, thank you guys so much. Thank you for your heart. Thank you for your passion. We are praying for you. We love you, and we are excited to see what God is going to do through you as we continue in this mission at Summit Church. Again, we love you. Have a wonderful week.